YouTube, welcome back. Um, Today was honestly a really tough one. Um, it shouldn't have been, but it was. Um, I went to bed, you know, what do you see in a buy day? Start selling at midnight. Um, so as I went to bed, I was kind of bullish, whatever. When I woke up, I did see like this kind of V shape, and I was really looking for it to make a move back, and I was never offered that. Um, and it was a bad call to look for that. When you're running under previous day's low, because we pretty much already knew that it was gone. Um, and then turtle it and then kind of trade back up. That's kind of your net shift, and same thing, you get your sell side balance to sell side to rally. So on Thursdays, I do not trade until after 8:30, just because of the reports that come out at 8:30. And we had durable goods, which is a good thing for trend days. Hint, hint there. But anyways, as we went into the actual market and looking back, you know, after 8:30, pushing up, trading into an FEG, pushing up, trading into an FEG, nice bull turtle, down close support. Literally nothing broke at all. I did try shorting this move here. Basically, after running buy sides, why I left this here. I was looking for some type of short to go back in to go long, even like underneath this, but obviously didn't happen. And I ended up shorting here, closing after market open, and it started to scream higher. Really and honestly, the true mistake, because I closed around 9:36 ish. The real mistake was reshorting afterwards. And at that point, it was already kind of over. I went short again. I was kind of trying to anticipate the whole down close manipulation, but again, the thing was something like that, and why that was a bad call. When you're looking for that type of move, that move is supposed to be the manipulation move to basically to perform a smart money reversal. It's like this down close is supposed to start the smart money reversal or the manipulation phase to roll over. And again, 1 minute high here. I ended up trying to short it just to run it over. Ended up just doing a BISI continue in my face and ripping higher. And then by this point at after 10 o'clock, I was already, you're down 80 points in drawdown. And I basically just held the thing all the way through this down move here and up, and then I sold around near the top where just before we are going to hit previous day's high. So it was honestly really, really bad. It really was. I even noticed on RTH chart, I literally watched low a day stop out happen just for it to continue rallying. You kind of see it here. Opens right underneath the low off open and then just rallied. ES did the exact same thing, and honestly probably a little bit cleaner. And honestly, the most disappointing part for me was, you look at the video yesterday, we literally talked about getting above mainly the lunch highs specifically. We pretty much knew that you get above this, you get to free buy to previous day's high. I said it in multiple chats and everything. And instead of longing it, I just held the short almost until it was there. And yeah, it was just surreal for what it was. Um, I was just looking for a short, and I woke up trying to short, so I tried shorting instead of being in free flow and in tangent with the market. I was just denying it. And again, this V shape, it should have rolled over, made some type of move. Maybe it shouldn't have. But when you run out of all of overnight sell side, by that I mean you already ran previous day's low. There's no other low to run from sell side other than the low itself that was made. You don't want to count that. So even going into the session, you have kind of stacked buy side with more stacked buy side with, final terminus up there. And I even said to people that you're going to fake market structure shift this and then just immediately rally the other way. And all I did was short today. That's all I did. And it was really painful. Because I know I didn't need to. And I was even trying to just take like copium shorts back through the range. But really nothing was breaking, and it was just bullish, 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 bullish. And it was really bad. It honestly was really bad, and I was I'm honestly surprised on how offside I was for how aware I was, like, in terms of planning the move. Because again, we had invalidation here and we ripped past it by 9:45. Basically, we were well past it. So 15 minutes into the open, we're already kind of dead. And even at that point, I'm kind of looking at myself, why not put a buy stop there to go there, you know? And I basically just froze and watched the trade just rally against me entirely. Because especially once, again, that 1 minute trade failed around here, it was a lot of bag holding up until here. But by this point, I knew I was going to get margin called. So I just exited, but it was still absolutely garbage, to be honest. And I realized that it was just, I was more so following the money and not the process at all or what the market was giving me, for one. And it gets really, really distraught for that type of stuff because I woke up, again, I was trying to look for a short whatever, but it wasn't working, and that was okay. And I wasn't accepting that it wasn't working, and I wasn't trying to accept what the market was trying to do. Because again, I saw this full hand, and again, even yesterday's video, we knew what to buy off of beforehand. So it was really, really sad to trade that well yesterday, or at least better. And then a new day comes and you just completely botch it, completely, and you wipe everything. Because even all this, my account was already dead at this point, so I was just trading, like savant stuff. Was shorting around here to go down to here. I longed this to go back up. I shorted the move back down, and then I relonged also. And you'll be able to see that on the broker feed. But yeah, it was really, really bad what I was doing. Because even something like this where you already know that it's a trend day, but regardless of whether we knew that or not, when you make a push like that and you are blowing through a high, Tom H or anything like that, just long the skies, you're more inclined to keep pushing that direction than you are actually reversing. Because the market's going to do that over and over and over until it actually reverses. So even like this, it's going to go low, 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 more lows, rug pull, hit terminus. So if you count that, 7+ times, if you will, you can count whatever you want to, but you figure something like at least 7. It's just to keep drilling, drilling, and drilling before actually turning around, or it's going to hit some type of target or liquidity before doing so. And even this, higher, 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 just keep bidding, 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 bidding. When it was long the whole time, so it's kind of that whole staying with the trend instead of shorting at all. So as we look at the actual, because I took so many trades that the shorts in here aren't going to show. You can only see the very, very last ones here. Because even on this was just a copium short just to trying to run it lower. Wasn't going to work. It couldn't have worked. It literally wasn't allowed to. But yeah, looking at this 5-minute especially, you can kind of just see how the bearish flow occurs. And then it just kind of doesn't. And truthfully, even I'm not so really mad about me looking for the short because I was looking for above open, daily opening price, trend day down, boom, LR that. Yeah, that's whatever. If it didn't work, but really it was, once it didn't work, we knew where it was going. If it wasn't going to go down, it was going to go up. And we still shorted the entire thing, basically. So very, very bad there, to be honest. Very, very bad. I can't show... I don't know how to show older stuff, but we took some just more copium cells here, trying to add to it. Got out the top. Tried selling again off of this rejection, whatever. Blown. Selling it again. Blown. Selling again off this BPR, whatever. Breaks it down. After taking that short and realizing, okay, what it's actually trying to do is go long. End up swapping long. Sold it. Went short. Oh, I'm sorry, tried adding to a buy here. Got all of it out down here. Tried selling again. Obviously rolling it up. Switch back to some more buys. Buying it back up. And then tried shorting again just off this move here. But even this in a vacuum and looking at this, exit here, I knew my stop was above here. Even if it did something like that, down move there, I was totally okay with. But truthfully, above this, it was dead, and so I got out quick-ish enough, but not truthfully at the speed that I should have. Um, and it's really hard to say out loud. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm looking back at this, and I was just going anti-trend, anti-trend, anti-trend the whole day. Um, when I knew that it shouldn't have. I knew it should have at least trended one way, and for this case, it go long. And we knew, and I said it in multiple discords. Above here, go long. This is setting up for long. Like I wasn't. I even woke up, and honestly, the worst part was I looked at the 1 hour chart, and one thing that I really, really liked was putting a vertical line at the end of the day, because you know your delivery has to stop there, no matter what, no matter how high or low it goes, the delivery will stop because of time. Um, so when I was looking at that, and yes, previous days low swiped, what have you, I was really looking at this is 8 o'clock here, because we didn't trade till after. I was very, very hard pressed for the market to go lower just based off of time. Because you think about New York session and what have you, that's only 3, 4 candles on a 1 hour chart from 8 o'clock. So I did not see that the market had enough time, literally, knowing that your day is going to end here to actually go down. It didn't have time to go down. It's an extremely strong biasing that you can form if you can get good with it and realizing what it means to not have enough time to do a delivery. Not to say that's some Gann stuff, because not that I've studied him, but he was kind of the first guy to talk about time and price. So I had a plethora of things other than I wanted it to go lower. I think was honestly the worst part was I wanted it to do one thing and it wasn't doing it, so then it just turned into a denial fest. Um, that was bag holding, but again, consciously and analysis wise, and again in multiple chats, I knew it was going higher. I really did, and I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised by the move that I made. I really wasn't, because I knew that's what it was gonna do. Um, and maybe I should not have known what it was gonna do, but again, once above lunch, it was over. It was literally over. It was free buy, um, for the rest of that range, which 200 points is an absolutely respectable range for just a market order buy stop. Not even a PD ray, retrace, nothing. Just I'm talking market buy that high, run and TP to there. It would have worked. Um, and so I do want to start expanding into those honestly, but I really, really, really need to stop bag holding these trades. And I do think it is like some deeper psychological stuff where I'm just freezing and holding the trade and sitting there in denial for however long it is until I decide that I need to exit, or I just can't deal with the trade anymore. Or in my case, I knew that I was going to get margin called, so I just exited before it happened. Maybe 10 points before, but again, ripped 200 against you already. There was no point. There's literally no point. So, on a brighter note, I do want to thank you guys for watching, and I will be doing a lesson of some sort ICT related this weekend. I'm not sure what yet. If you guys have anything you want to see it, be sure to comment below. As for going into tomorrow, you should assume that you can still just kind of rally through this and call it a week. There's not really a need to trade back into anything, at least this busy here. You could potentially trade into the 11 o'clock one. Or I'm sorry, the 10 o'clock one, but that's really all that should be needed in terms of sell side balancing, especially already kind of rallying off the top in general just to move higher. But it could absolutely come down into something like this and just sit there for the rest of the day. But if you want to figure that out, add a vertical candle here at the end of the day at 4 and get some idea for profile, because remember, the delivery is going to stop here. No matter how high or how low, delivery will stop here. So it could very easily, set something in London, retail sales it back through, just to cap off the weekly range. That'd be pretty cool. But at this point, there's no point in guessing that. But you could use that as a final target potentially, is this 15-minute BISI. And draw off your weekly candle, because you would basically throw that in here, go on to a weekly, might be able to see. You might, nah, it's not going to show up. But you'd basically close something around in here, which if you look at like NASDAQ itself, can close right into the VIB. It might even not fill the VIB, honestly. It might just balance it with a wick and fix it later. That'd be pretty cool too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the time being. Again, just a really, really bad execution day, truthfully. And especially for knowing that like I was planning on CRT daily through this, but I also saw that with this gap down on Tuesday, we were gonna roll over, and we did. Ran to the low that we thought we would, and then Monday just counter rallied, and then you buy stop gap, and then you're gone. So, not surprised by any move, unfortunately, but the trades are not. They're just not lining up with it right now. So, it is what it is. It's just gonna be a matter of lining them up and doing that forever. So, again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.